Hello everyone, I'm Claire Marie B and welcome to my bullet journal channel. If you haven't seen my videos before, welcome. It's great to have you here. I'm so pleased that you found my video. For those that watch me each month, thank you so much for coming back and watching my content again. I appreciate everybody who's watching. This is my August monthly setup. So I hope you all enjoyed my July planning. I know it's a little different when I do some of the more arty ones, I call them, rather than the print ones. We're back to print this month. You can see that I'm doing my lettering first. That's because I need to practice my lettering, or I'm just not as confident with it. I see other people's plan with me videos and they do the lettering at the very end. I'm not as confident as that because I honestly think I'm just going to mess it up. So I do my lettering first. I've started to learn more this month of looking at lettering as drawing rather than that I'm actually writing the letters themselves. So that's why you can see I'm doing it more of a faux calligraphy style. So I initially write out the word and then build up the calligraphy edges. This is my pattern or design for the month, which is a floral print. So I'm drawing everything out, first of all, the petals, the leaves in the coloured Crayola Super Tips, which, as you know, I really love. And then I'm going to go over the top with Sakura Pigment Microns with some different shading and marks over the top of the petals. It'll all make sense soon, I promise. The other colour that I'm building in this month as well is grey. I couldn't choose between the purple and the golden yellow. I really liked both of them, and I think I've mentioned before on my videos, purple is my favourite colour. And I thought I'd cracked it, that this month was going to be the spread that was going to be purple, and then I drew out this yellow and I just thought, I can't not use this. It's, sorry, double negative. I have to use this because it's such a good colour, and I think that they actually end up going really well together. I'm building in some light and dark grey leaves as well, just for some extra colour for the month. And then I'll move on to drawing the outlines and the Pigment Micron sections. You will notice this month, I am not freestyling my lines. Anyone who's watched my videos previously knows that I'm trying to get better at drawing straight lines without using rulers because they're faffy and you have to wipe them down, and I end up making marks across the page and it's just quicker and easier. Sometimes I like it and I like the more rustic feel, but this month it really was important for me to have really, really straight lines. So I'm using a ruler. It's actually the Archer and Olive stencil from the kit, from the subscription box that I subscribe to, and there was a really good stencil. I have actually snapped it. I was a little bit too strong on one of the sections. I think it was probably when I was wiping it down after using a coloured pen along the side of it, and I've accidentally just snapped a little bit of it. It's still working and it is a really good quality stencil. It's my fault for just being a little bit too overzealous. That's the tool that I'm going to use this month to create all the straight lines. It was important to have the stalks of these flowers being really straight, and you'll see this month as well, I'm putting some borders around. So again, I wanted that to be straight. And also I'm doing kind of like a pin board effect as well. I love the looks of that I've seen on Instagram of people doing that. So I wanted to put that in this month as well. And I felt it just went really well. onto my quote page. I found a great quote from Drew Barrymore this month, which was going to make up my quote page. And as I said, I'm making this pinboard style this month to match the florals. And here's the quote: happiness is the best makeup. Is that not just the best quote for this month? To make the pinboard, I'm using the other side of a grey Tombow pen. I found that the Crayola Super Tips were just a bit too thick for what I wanted to do with this, and the Tombow was a much better option. Obviously not the brush side. For any newbies who haven't used the Tombows before, there are two sides to your Tombow brush pens. One is the brush tip and the other side is more like a felt tip pen, and hence you can draw much straighter lines. Sorry, I'm laughing at the fact that I used hence in my video. So yeah, that's why I'm using the other side of the Tombow, so that I get a much better line. Obviously the brush pen would be even messier than the Super Tips, but the Super Tips, the end of them was just a little bit too chunky, so I was getting an uneven line when I was practicing. And that's the cover pages done. Onto my calendar page, I decided to do more of a banner style and put the print inside this banner, which is a little different. I don't normally do that, so as you know, I try to do new things in my bullet journal each month, and this is really very much a YouTube journey of how I go from beginner to gaining more experience, and I just really liked this design. Repeating exactly the same pattern from the first page, but just doing it on a smaller scale. So exactly the same colours, exactly the same print, the same style. Got my trusty stencil so I can do my straight lines. And yeah, it's just the first page in a much smaller way. Onto the calendar itself, you'll see I've drawn a random dot here. I couldn't decide for a while the best way of starting this, and you can see I decided to start this with confidence of being able to draw some straight lines freestyle. And once I'd drawn the first box, I realised that it looked rubbish, and especially because everything else was really straight lines this month, I needed to then just go back over and do some stencil lines over the top. As you know as well, I always make a mistake. You can see a nice mistake there in the boxes where I've drawn an extra line. It's always something like that I do. Anyway, I'll go over that probably with a white gelish, the Sakura gel white pens, and that'll cover the majority of that up. The very last bit, I got fed up of using the stencil, so I decided to do this bit freestyle. I thought I could trust myself to draw a 1.5 wide box wide line up to the coloured dots. That's what I'm doing there, is some freestyling. And I think it ended up being okay, but that's all I could trust myself to do this month, of the straight lines. My Dutch door, it's back. I can't resist a Dutch door. I just love it on the calendar spread, and apologies if you guys are getting a little bit bored of my Dutch door, but Oh, I just love a Dutch door. Anyway, this month the stencil was really handy. It's actually about the length of an A5 bullet journal, and it's got curved edges that mirror the bullet journal edging. So I was able to do a really lovely coloured line, a nice straight one with the curves at the edge, which just follow the curve pattern of the stencil. And I'm cutting along there to create the Dutch door, and it still keeps a little bit of the purple colour in there as well. Onto the other side of my Dutch door, I use this side, or have been using this side, as a planner section. It's worked really well. I like having a to-do list for the whole month, because sometimes I've got some things to do for the month and it doesn't really matter when I actually do them. So it's good for me just to have one place to put them in. Also, of course, you know from the way that I set up this video, I record my previous month before we're actually getting to it, and once I've done that, you know that because I release my video sort of mid to end way through the previous month. I always have something or a list where I'm writing for the very next month of things that I've got to do. So it helps me to have that list ready the month before to be able to populate it and be putting things in ready. There's always a few days where I'm like, oh no, I need to draw out my bullet journal, or I need to do my photo shoot of it because I need to start writing in it. And that's the reason why, because I'll forget if I don't put these things down. I've created the pinboard effect for the other bits and pieces that I normally have in my planner month. This will be my Instagram posts. I have to get organised with this. I have to list them because I get so carried away in the month and then I feel like I'm really neglecting it. And I love Instagram. So having this calendar reminder on there prompts me to go to Instagram that day, make sure I've checked it out. I love going through and seeing what everyone's created on there. If you do any of my designs, please do tag me in them because I love seeing it. And yeah, it's great to see everything that you guys recreate. Some washi tape and that is finished. Over to my habits. I again am doing the pinboard style on the left hand side for my habit trackers, for the calendar trackers, and then on the right hand side that's going to be my mood tracker, and I'm trying something a little bit different this month which uses my design more as well. I did something that I don't normally do this month and instantly regretted it as soon as I started doing it. You'll see when I start to write the calendar out. I wrote the calendars out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why I did that. Normally I just do boxes because it's really easy to see which day is which on a tracker. I'm not sure if you tend to write out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I just really got into what I was doing in the moment and thought that's what I needed to do. So you can see there that I'm counting everything out, which again was a faff in itself. And as I say, as soon as I started writing down all the days, I thought, oh, this is dull. So I've cut that bit out of the recording so that you don't have to sit there and watch me write every single individual day of every single month, because once I'd written Monday to Sunday on every line, I felt that was really quite enough of what I needed to do. Usually on this page I have a notebook therapy stamp. Oh, I love it. I use it every month because I just stamp the month on. It can get a little bit annoying that when I use a paler colour pen to highlight, and colour in that I've done the thing for the day, because the pen will pick up a little bit of the ink on the end, and I'm a bit precious like that. So I cut out there so you didn't have to sit and watch me write every single day of the month down, but I couldn't use the notebook therapy stamp because it's a 6-line, I needed 6 rows this month, and that one only goes up to 5 because the first of the month falls on a Sunday, and then we have the last 2 days of the month are on the end of another week, at the beginning of another week. That's why I needed to have this written out this month, but I could have quite easily just drawn it as a grid myself, although I guess that probably would have been just as time consuming. Anyway, I digress. Over to the other page where I'm drawing out the mood tracker. I decided to do the floral prints coming out of that box saying mood, and I counted to make sure that I have 31 leaves. So it's the leaves that are actually going to be the mood symbolizer for me this month, and and tracking my mood. And I'm going to do those all in the different shades of grey. I'm using 3 different shades of grey throughout the spread. I'm drawing the edges of the leaves and the print pattern that will be inside the leaves. So I have my markers, and when it comes to the day of the month, I will then pick the colour and draw over the top of the stencil marks that are already there. Crayola Super Tip works really well as a border, but you can see the difference to the Tombow on the left hand side. That makes the grid marks, it just looks better on the grid. And that's the trackers page. On to my final spread. Those who've watched my earlier videos know I will do a Ponsieve. I don't like the term brain dump of Harry Potter, so I have a Ponsieve. I've changed this up a little lately and I made a memories page in July. I really enjoyed that, and I'm going to carry that on for August. I have plenty of nice memories happening. I'm going to be seeing some of my family for the first time in a year and a half. I'm so excited. There's plenty of memories going to be coming up. I decided this month to create a big pinboard page and do different notelets. I like to track films, TV shows. I forget sometimes where I'm up to with the TV show, so this helps with that. And also my word of the day, I'm keeping it going from January. It is happening for the entire year. We're going to keep this up and try and complete it for the whole year. I've done individual post-it pins or notepad type style pins on my pinboard, and incorporating the banner that I did for the calendar spread just to create some consistency throughout as well. I have my floral print going inside the header. I've left the right hand side space to print some pictures. I have this printer which I think is kind of cool. It kind of prints like a Polaroid picture, but it takes it from your phone. So you hold the phone over the top and it kind of takes a photo of the photo. Anyway, I know it sounds complicated, but it is really good. And I'm going to use that this month to print out a few memories, some photos of what's happened in the month, and stick those in the journal as well. Time to grid up this page. You've seen me make the grid for so long now, I didn't think you would want to sit through a whole other time of the drawing, so there we go. That's everything drawn out. I've also put some washi tape on to make it look like the notepad, the little note pages are stuck to the page. With the washi tape, obviously. And then some extra washi tape just to brighten things up a little bit. That's my August memory. So here's the full flip through. I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I've really enjoyed you stopping by and watching my video. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe and you'll be notified of future content that I release. See you next month and have a fantastic August, everyone. Bye.